Rooney and the Night of the Foxes. Rooney stared out the window. He really wanted to go outside. Rooney was bored all day long in his townhouse. He had been watching the black cat have fun sneaking around, eating grass, and sniffing new things. Rooney dreamed of wrestling with other cats. He longed to bat at bugs in the wild, not just through windows. Rooney even imagined chasing squirrels like other cats. Rooney wasn't sure whether he liked to play with kids. He remembered one time that Sonny came to play with him and frightened him. Rooney's day brightened when his owners, Jessie and Susan, came home from work. They snuggled with him, held him if Rooney let them, and gave him treats. Sometimes Jessie would play cat games with Rooney, but most days Jessie and Susan were too busy making dinner. So one day Rooney decided to see if he could escape outdoors. He perched on top of the railing to wait for Jessie to open the door below so Rooney could escape. When Jessie wasn't looking, Rooney slid behind him out the door and slithered through the wooden fence. Rooney had never been free before, so he ran away as fast as he could. Rooney slinked through the grass. Rooney sniffed the plants that he had so longed to smell. He watched the birds in the sky and finally saw how high they could fly. Rooney even met the black cat. They sniffed noses, but they decided not to play together. Rooney had lots of fun doing the things he so longed to do. The grass did indeed taste greener on the other side of the fence. Rooney ran to the front of his house and started down the street toward the park. Then Rooney noticed the sky was getting dark, but he didn't mind. Rooney, like all cats, could see really well in the dark, so he just figured he could continue to play. But all of a sudden, Rooney heard a far-off "Ow!" He was just a young cat, barely 2 years old, so he didn't know what the sound was. Still, all cats know that they don't howl, so he was a bit frightened by the sound. He worried it might be either a dog or even a wolf. When Rooney was younger, even before he came to live with Jessie and Susan, his mommy cat told him that dogs, wolves, and lots of other animals were not the friends of cats. As the light in the sky faded more and more, the sound of howls came more often. Rooney started walking very carefully down the street and hid under every car near him. Finally, when Rooney got to the park, he saw a fox running right at him. The fox took one look at Rooney and said, "Ow, ow, ow!" Of course, foxes don't speak cat talk, and cats don't speak fox talk, so Rooney and the fox just stared angrily at each other. In a minute, another fox came to the side of the first fox. The two foxes were not howling now, for they were a pack that could easily beat a lone cat in a fight. Rooney knew he better get out of there fast. He ran to the nearest tree and started climbing, since his mommy had told him that dogs and wolves could not climb trees. When Rooney looked down, he saw one of the foxes was climbing up after him. Rooney started meowing at the top of his lungs for Jessie and Susan to come save him, but Rooney was too far away for Jessie and Susan to hear him. The fox climbed closer and closer to Rooney and made a low growling sound. Rooney thought for sure the fox was going to get him. Then the fox climbed on a thin branch right beneath Rooney, and the branch broke, sending the fox spinning to the ground. Rooney was saved by being lighter than the fox. Rooney jumped down and ran home. When he reached his front door, Susan opened it. Rooney ran in and fell asleep right away. Rooney had had a very tiring night with those foxes.